Hi, I'm Scott from BS Games, and I'd like to show you in this video our new party game. It's a word game called Say What Now. In this game, players create phrases and sentences from random words that they are given. Each round, one person acts as the judge, who will judge which situation that's submitted best goes with the phrase or a sentence. What makes this unique is the fact that words are determined by the dice. So the colored dice are rolled, and those tell you which deck you draw from to tell you which words you get. This opens up a whole bunch of replayability because the phrases you get will be unique because you're never going to get the same words twice. And even if, say, somebody does get the same words that someone else has gotten in a previous game, they might not necessarily use them in the same way. So it provides a lot of replayability as you're playing even with the same people. In addition to the words, you also have these situation cards. Situations are places where maybe these phrases have been heard before. So yes, it is a judging game where one person judges, but the fun comes from the absurdity of making sense out of nonsense. It does not contain any rude words. It is not based on shock value or being terrible people for fun. The hilarity comes from just the absurdity and making something out of nothing, essentially. However, we have played with some adults who have used a bit of innuendo to put phrases together that were a little bit risque. So it is family friendly, but also if you have friends who tend towards being a little bit risque, they can probably find a way to do it with this. In addition, there's also add-ons that help you out. Add-ons are things like punctuation and extra suffixes and things that you can add to your words, just to make them a bit more grammatical if you like, make them make more sense. But that's not a requirement for this game. You do not have to be good at grammar. In fact, those people who put together sentences which are totally weird and don't make sense tend to have more fun in this game. We found that Say What Now runs best with 5 to 8 players. You could play more as long as everyone's paying attention. You can play fewer as well. If you do play 4 or 3 players, sometimes it helps to throw in a random situation to augment the ones that are put in. And you'd be surprised how many times the random one fits the word and you can't even tell which one is the random one. You'd be surprised how many times, in fact, you think you've created a phrase that is totally meaningless and somebody has the perfect situation to go with it. Or you have a situation in your hand which you don't think goes with anything. And then someone will make a phrase and you're like, oh, that's perfect. That goes with that. Great. So it's a lot of fun. We had a lot of really good feedback from it. Let's have a closer look now. I'll show you how the cards work. Okay, so here I've rolled 2 pinks, a yellow, blue, and a white. So I take 2 pink cards, 1 yellow card, sorry, that was blue, 1 blue, 1 yellow, and for white I don't pick anything at all. So I look at the words I've got, and I have apple, go, pink, don't / it. I can use the don't or the it. So I'm going to make a phrase. My phrase is going to be apples don't go pink, because I can use one or the other. I'll just cover up the it. There we go. You know what, let's be a little bit correct and put a period on the end there. All right, so then I would announce this and say, apples don't go pink. And each of my opponents would throw in one of their cards. They'd look in their hand of cards. Let's have a look here. And I would shuffle them all up. So I don't know who handed in which one. And then read them aloud to everybody. Apples don't go pink. That was the title of my doctoral thesis. Which makes me wonder, what am I a doctor of? Oh, dear Lord, I pray that apples don't go pink. Or breaking, new studies find apples don't go pink. Or, that's the part of my job description I'm unclear about. So at this point, I, as the person who's judging, would have to choose one of these, which one's my favorite, because it's either the funniest or the most appropriate or least appropriate with this one. And once I've decided, I announce my choice, and whoever turned that one in gets that back as a point, because they were the winner of that particular round. And then the next person on my left, they would do the same thing. They would reveal their phrase and then say it, and everybody else, after replenishing their hand with their situation cards, would choose one that matched that one and hand that one to them. And they would judge a winner, and it would go around from there. So These will get put into discard piles. I return these so other people can use them. And play continues. And we keep going around until somebody has taken 5 points, shown by collecting the number of situation cards that were returned to them as the winners, or the rest get discarded.